Alrighty. We are going to go ahead and start this show up for y'all. So let's go.
The House is suspended.
No offense, but it sounds like some fucking commie gobbledygook.
Yeah, I don't know what that was. Kumande, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I saw it. Apparently it happened in the New Zealand Parliament. I don't know. I figured I'd throw it up as a video background because, why not? Oh, and of course it's gonna start not working. Oh, there it goes. Okay. But yeah, has absolutely nothing to do with what I'm planning on talking about it. I saw it. I thought it looked funny. I thought it sounded funny. So, yeah, just throw it in as an intro video because, why not? Why not? But hi, how's everybody doing? Welcome to Strange Days Podcast. I'm your host, Ricky Kurtz. And today I'm going to be reviewing a couple of videos about deconstructing Christianity. Apparently all these people seem to think that, Christianity is mean, they don't like it, and all this stuff. But I'm just gonna, make fun of them. Seems like a good thing to do, I mean, I got nothing better to do, so might as well. But before I get into it, go ahead and let me throw this up. Be sure to go to Strange Days, that's strange with a 3, not an E, days.substack.com. Go ahead and go check out my Substack. I write articles on various things, topics, all that stuff. Plus, there's a bunch of former content that I have put out that you can find on there. And then you can also find me on Twitter, or if you want to call it X, at R_Wing Hoosier. So you can go ahead and, follow me over there. But yeah, I just want to, I just saw a few videos that I want to review. And, I got a guy that I've reviewed before, Coach Renz. His channel is actually called Deconstructing Christianity. And I saw one of his videos and I decided to leave a comment on there. And he actually replied to the comment, but he completely missed the point of my argument that I was trying to put in there. So we'll go ahead and review that and check out his reply to it, and see if there's any weight to what he's saying. But yeah, be sure, if you guys are watching this, go ahead and smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, and the notification bell. There that little thing goes. Yeah, I got that thing now. But I still like this. Make those like buttons come in, raining down like hellfire, because that's the way that it should be. And then subscribe. Click that notification bell. That way you can be notified anytime I upload any sort of content. It's good. It's good. It's good.
What the hell is wrong with you?
I'm retarded. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, a little bit. But that's okay. That's okay. So let's go ahead and check out some videos. Whoa. So first off, we're gonna take a look at this guy who seems to have a problem with stating that morality comes from the Christian God, because let's just hear what he has to say.
Your morality comes from a God that literally killed everybody on the planet?
I mean, if there was a God and he happened to do that, I mean, how could you tell him that he's wrong? I mean, seems like you got a bit of a problem there, but go ahead and keep crying.
Except for Noah, his wife, his 3 kids, and their wives. Are you freaking... What? Like, come on! That is absolutely asinine. That is absolutely insane. Your God wipes out, kills everybody.
I'm sure after he's done whining, he'll produce an argument for why it's illogical. But I guess let's just hear him continue to cry.
He just a little guy.
Men, women, and children, infants, like little babies that were just born.
Say it, don't spray it. Jeez. He thinks that if he adds a little bit more extra, oomph and more feeling to it, it's gonna click with people. But I'm still not hearing an argument.
Pregnant mothers that were literally about to give birth, and your God murders them. And you're going to try to tell me that morality comes from that God?
Okay, now let's try to get an answer from someone who's not a complete retard. Anyone? Come on, don't be shy.
I don't know if you ever heard about the fallacious argument from personal incredulity. Maybe you might want to check that out. Just stating, I don't really understand, why he would do that isn't really an argument. I mean, these people act like God should have held a personal committee meeting with them before doing every action that he does. But that it's the typical atheist argument. If God real, why bad thing happen? Even though you can't give me a standard for how you determine what is bad. What's really funny is that most of the time they're basing their morals and ethics off of Christianity, because that's what most people were raised to do. But they're sophisticated. They smarter now. They got iPhones and stuff. Psh, don't need that silly religion. Here, I made this pretty good meme. You need religion to be a good person? Huh. I'm a good person because I choose to be. This is actually, I should have waited to show this, because this is gonna go more into the Coach Renz video, but the proper response to this is, absent religion, you have no objective standard of what a good person is, or why they should even be a good person. So, yeah, pretty much. But let's go ahead to this next video. I found this interesting lady who, well, you'll see. She hears something.
Let me hear it.
Is she like suffering from like Alzheimer's or something? I mean, seriously. I mean, she looks like she's confused. I don't know. Maybe. I mean, she's not saying anything, but she has this written up here. Let's see. Women waking up and realizing how patriarchy has silenced their voices and disempowered them in their homes, their churches, and in their workplaces for centuries. And it's time to dismantle patriarchal structures. Now, I've, because this is essentially what feminism is. This is dismantling of patriarchal structures. Okay. It's just, you're to do that would require force, which the enforcement arm of all societies is the patriarchy. So I don't really see how you get around it. But does she do anything else but like wander off? Oh, she's not gonna say anything. Okay, but yeah, I mean, patriarchy bad. It's mean to women. Okay.
Ooh, wow, gay. That is pretty gay.
Pretty gay. Let's see what else she has. Not gonna lie, that does look pretty yummy. You mind pass me over a plate of that? Now I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to read. I might need to make this a little bit bigger so I can actually read what she's trying to say here. Yeah, there we go. We'll just go ahead and do it like that. Okay, so everyone's saying JD is so smooth and a great speaker after the debate. Are we forgetting that this man openly hates childless women? I don't know if he said that he hates them. Seems like you're ascribing intent there, but okay. Wants grandparents to work unpaid as babysitters. What? Disdains DEI? I mean, I do too. I mean, you shouldn't just be putting people in, positions just because, they're diverse. I mean, they should generally be good at the job, and that's why they get the job. But I don't know. Is lying through his teeth and will absolutely support a national abortion ban with no exceptions. I mean, I hope that's true. Yeah, ban all abortions. And about the only exception that I think would be feasible is like if the life of the mother is actually, in danger. Like, but you got to be very particular on that because they'll start like talking about like mental health, and that could just be she's gonna be a little bit anxious about having a baby. So you shouldn't be killing babies just because you're gonna get a little anxious about it. If there's physical harm, well, maybe not. Maybe that's not even specific enough. If the mother is gonna die, I guess. But I mean, the standard plan that they should be going with. I don't know, plan, whatever. But what they should be trying to do is save both of the lives. Trying. We should not just go to straight to like let's terminate this life because things aren't going as planned. But all these people just talk about the exceptions. Like completely negating the fact that even if we added all these exceptions, which most of the states that have banned abortions, they do have the exceptions that they talk about. But even if we did that, they still would want, the 99% of abortions that are just like, I don't want it. Get it out of me. But, yeah, whatever. Wants to incentivize people who are cis YT. Oh, I guess that's supposed to be white because she did this. This is probably made for a TikTok, and I guess TikTok has special rules and stuff like that. But wants to incentivize people who are cis white to get married and have lots of kids. Well, I mean, is he just doing? Well, of course they got to be cis to have kids. I mean, that's just saying that they're normal. I mean, you can't be gay and have kids. It doesn't happen. Doesn't happen. Hate to be the bearer of I don't know. I don't even think you would classify it as bad news, but yeah, I don't even see what the problem is with that. Did he specific? I don't really care for JD Vance. I don't really trust him, but if it makes these people spurg about it, then sure. Oh, was handpicked by the money behind Project 2025. Well, I mean, most people that are, a large majority of the people that are, put in the places of power are, there's money from various NGOs and all that stuff. So that wouldn't be a surprise to me. Just learned at the debate how to really pronounce Appalachia. Who doesn't know how to pronounce Appalachia? I mean, seems pretty easy to me. Don't really know why that's a character flaw for him, but apparently she doesn't like it. She can't say it, but she'll write it out. Just spoke at a rally organized by Lance Walnier. Yeah, that's a name. Who accused VP Harris of practicing witchcraft. I mean, maybe she does. I don't know. This is the real argument right down here. Is just simply gross and dangerous. Get back where you're supposed to be. Phone's making a bunch of noises. Stop it. But, yeah, that's... Ooh. all those things are so bad. I wonder where she gets that standard. I don't know. Let's see what this next video of hers is.
This isn't a time
Holy shit, she could speak. I didn't think it was possible. But, you know, pop off, queen.
to throw up our hands. It's time to roll up our sleeves. And only when it's dark enough can you see the stars.
Platitudes.
That was a concession speech for the ages.
I don't know if any of you guys watched the concession speech. I watched it, and it was a whole lot of endless, meaningless platitudes. Just she said nothing. Like the only thing that she stated in the affirmative was, you know, we got to protect abortion rights. Women got to be allowed to kill their babies. We just gotta, and we're not gonna stop fighting. Not gonna. The fight stays on. But yeah, let's keep going.
I think
Sounds
you could
sad
tell
about
she'd been crying.
Oh.
And you could see how much she was hurting. The pain in her eyes reflected the pain in this country, at least for some of us. I wanted to wait until her concession speech because that was going to influence what I wanted to say, because the math ain't mathin'.
Math ain't mathin'.
But I'm not a political strategist, so I will watch and I will learn and I will listen, but
will you listen?
It doesn't make sense. It's my dog. It doesn't make sense, does it? It doesn't make sense. But I'll be the first to admit that I understand.
Are you denying a safe and secure election? Are you an election denier? YouTube, get her.
Understand how racist and misogynistic this country is. Because I, as a white woman who was raised in that white Christian nationalism mentality and indoctrination,
Are you trying to say that you were raised better off than some people? Almost as if like it was like a superior way of raising certain people? Sounds kind of racist. I'm just saying. Better watch it with your. Are those hexagon glasses? I mean, what happened to normal glasses? I don't know. It's just weird.
It's hard to break. Especially if you don't want to. Especially if your entitlement and your superiority feels like a warm, comfy blanket that you wrap up in every night. You don't want to give that away. You don't want to share it with anybody.
Don't want to share it.
And I saw story after story of pastors these past few weeks who were getting up and just walking that line of that separation of church and state because they know how to do it.
There's no such thing as separation of church and state. You made it up. Not real. Doesn't exist. You just dumb. You're just dumb.
I watched Joyce Meyer's husband do it for years. Remember, if she was in a tri-state area, I went to see her, and her husband, Dave Meyer, got up and talked about how
I don't know
our
who they
country was turning to the dark, and it was poisoned as he showed burning flags and pride parades.
Yeah, pretty gross.
We knew what he meant without him saying a word. So when that mega pastor from, of all places, Saddle...
Is that one of them dog whistle things? Like, he didn't say it, but we knew. We knew what he meant. Y'all got some interesting hearing. Like hearing things that aren't even said. You know, usually you would get thrown in like in a loony bin for that, but we don't do that anymore.
Back. Christian church, you know the one that got kicked out of the Southern Baptist Convention this year because they're so progressive, because they're ordaining women now, and you have that mentality that they're progressive. Let me tell you what. Inside those churches, they are all MAGA. And one of his pastors got up and preached a sermon just 2 weeks ago. You can go look it up. I'm not taking the time today to do any sound bites or any green screens. And he said, make sure you vote for the godly candidate. Make sure you vote for the one who will protect the babies.
Based.
Because that whole abortion trope started in the 70s, and we're not going to talk about that now either.
I mean,
if you want to learn anything and you haven't seen it yet,
abortion
was
going on long before that, but
it's all there. If you're ready to deconstruct, if you're ready and willing to let go of your superiority and the privilege and the comfort it gives you. And when you don't, we end up with a tyrant leading us. Now, I'll say once again that...
Man, if Trump was half as based as these people's imagination tells them that he is, I'd be so happy right now. But I'm not gonna get into all the politics about it because that's not what I'm here to do right now. But I mean, you pay attention to what he's doing. You know, I mean, essentially, I'm only happy because it makes all these people, just they just do this over it. Just cry. They just cry. Tons of the liberal tears. But let's see if she says anything else that's interesting.
The math ain't mathin'.
Math ain't mathin'.
Something's off.
Well, math is racist.
Something doesn't make sense. And anything that Peter Thiel or Elon Musk is involved in, it's corrupt AF. Because
I believe Peter Thiel is a open homosexual. So that sounds like bigoted speech right there. You better say sorry. You better say sorry. You bigot.
We already know what Trump is, and you who voted for him already know what he is, but you don't care.
Yeah,
because he gives you the privilege.
In a bit.
That you feel you're entitled to, and you're not willing to share. Because you think human rights is a pie.
Funny thing about my belief in human rights, I don't believe in them. They're not real. They don't exist. You can't show me where they are. But okay.
So, we're not going to...
I just want to hog all the human rights to myself. They're not real. You don't have rights. All you have at the end of the day is force. And that comes from the patriarchy. Because we are benevolent. But y'all just, spit in our face about it. Ungrateful. They're really ungrateful. We're so nice, but they just want to keep on crying. You won't let us murder our babies.
Throw up our hands. We're going to roll up our sleeves.
And do what?
This is not the end. This is the beginning.
Of what?
We have work to do.
What are you going to do?
To protect.
Is this an incitement for violence? Huh? Are you trying to incite violence? What work do you have to do? What do you need to roll up your sleeves for? Sounds like dangerous rhetoric. You better calm down.
And lives to save.
Lives to save?
Today we grieve. Tomorrow we work.
On what? What are you working on? I think I prefer the videos where she doesn't speak. I honestly think I prefer the ones where she just has music playing and words that I can read, because that was just...
No offense, but it sounds like some fucking commie gobbledygook.
Come on, man. What are we talking about?
I don't know. But this is who she is. She has one of those deconstructing Christianity things, and she's a reverend. With her rainbow scarf, and she because it's not obvious, but she has to put her pronouns in there, because without that, how would we know? How would we even know? And I couldn't get the full description of her page. Spirituality matters. What type of spirituality? Hindu spirituality? And spiritual, not religious? Is that what you're talking about? As an ordained interfaith. So, yeah, she's probably talking about Hinduism. Minister and sought after spiritual mentor. Well, I'll grant it, you're probably more sought after than I am, but I'm not trying to be anybody's spiritual mentor. That's not me. I'm not that guy. I'm just a goober on the internet making fun of people. But hey, she got more subscribers than me, so I'll give you that. But yeah, that's Reverend Carla. Reverend. She a reverend. Anybody can be a reverend. You just pick up the book and you just start reading, and you're good to go. These people. But let's go ahead and get over to good old Coach Renz, my buddy that I found that I've been trying to have a back and forth with, Eventually, I'd like to actually, talk to him. That'd be nice. I'll clip this section out, Mr. Coach Renz, and if you can, I don't know if you have a Twitter or not, you can DM me on there. We could set up a time we can actually talk about this stuff. But let's go ahead and review what he was saying. Now, this is the first video that I saw that I decided to make a comment on. But let's just watch. Oh, before we do that though, make sure you smash the like button. Make it rain down like hellfire. Yeah, that like button. Click it. Click it. Don't forget to hit the subscription bell. Or the subscription button. And hit that notification bell. This is the one that I actually wanted to click. Yeah, that one looks cooler. I need to get rid of that other one. I don't like it. Speaking of which, let me get it out of the way now. I don't even want it. I don't want it. But let's go ahead. Yeah, see, do what that guy did. You know, give it a thumbs up. I'm working hard here. I could use some likes. I don't really care. But yeah, let's go ahead and see some Coach Renz.
I will always love this answer that people who don't believe in the Bible give to people who believe in the Bible, who ask this dumbass question right here. How do atheists decide between good choices and bad choices?
It's a legitimate question.
The fact that if you need a book and the threat of eternal damnation in order for you to be a good person, that just shows that, in truth, you're just not a good person. You see, your Bible has convinced you that no matter what you do, no matter what you say, every thought from you is evil, because your Bible says that before the flood and after.
Well, not every thought. Sometimes we have good thoughts. Sometimes. You know, every once in a while.
The flood, that every thought from man is evil. And you believe
again, not every thought.
You think that you are a filthy rag because your Bible tells you that you are a filthy rag. Your Bible tells you you fall short of the glory of God. Your Bible tells you that you need to have some type of sacrifices, of some blood sacrificing in it to atone for different sins. You see, your Bible is constantly dragging you down and making.
Well, the sacrifices were, you know, foreshadowing, you know, Christ's incarnation and the fact that he would be sacrificed. But, you know, I get it. You read it. You have a complete understanding. You know, you picked up the book and you started reading, and you just know what it is. You know what it's saying. Props to you, bud.
You into the worst thing possible simply because it allows you to give in to your tendencies of negativity. But if you need the Bible and some outside source to make you feel better about yourself, then it just shows that you're weak and you're just not a good person. You see,
no, that's not what the argument that guy. I don't have his full question up there, but it's how do atheists make or decide between good and bad choices? I mean, he didn't articulate it well, but essentially that is getting to, like, how do you even have a standard of what is good or bad? That's the argument for the atheists that they don't ever seem to understand. Oh, you're saying just because I don't believe in God, I'm a bad person? No. You don't have a standard to even call yourself a good person. You just make it up. You just make it up. And I mean, I wouldn't say it's the Bible that gives us a standard. You know, it's the revelation from God that gives us a standard. But I mean, even then, I mean, at least you could point to something that says, hey, we're basing morality off of this, and, you know, we have this standard. What are you pointing to? What are you pointing to? How do you determine what a good choice is and what a bad choice is? Is it just I just feel like it. I just feel like it. I don't like it when you do that. Man. Stupid. It is stupid. Man, I don't like it. But let's keep on listening.
I make the choice to be a good person because I want to be a good person. Simple as that. It's just that simple. It's really that simple.
It's just that simple.
And I also make the choice because I don't want that.
If you just assert it, it's true. Just make the assertion. You don't have to justify how it makes you a good person. You just assert it. But keep going, Coach Renz. You're cooking. You're cooking.
To be done to me. I would not murder someone because I wouldn't want to be murdered. I wouldn't steal from someone because I wouldn't want to be stolen from. Not because I'm looking for some type of karma, and I'm going to get to that bullshit in a minute, but simply because I know what
karma
it feels like to be stolen from, to have somebody come invade your property and steal from you. I know what it.
So if somebody like wants to be stolen from or wants to be murdered, is it okay to do it to them then? I'm kind of fuzzy on, like, you know, where your head is with this whole like good and bad and all this stuff. So I mean, if you could just like land the plane and like get to like where the standard is, unless, you know, you're just gonna keep on asserting the thing, because, you know, like maybe it's not even that like they want to be murdered or they want to be stolen from, but let's like set it up as the purge hypothetical. You know, they agree once a year, you know, if I go out and participate in this, you know, that could be an outcome that I face. I mean, if they're willing participants of the purge, is it wrong? Would that be a bad choice? I mean, they sign an agreement and everything, you know. Sign out their rights, their human rights.
It feels like, so I don't want to make anybody else feel that way, so that's why I wouldn't do it, because I wouldn't want anybody else that.
You're so benevolent.
Yeah. So I don't need that. Plus, here's the other part. I had parents. My parents raised me to be a good person. I had grandparents. Grandparents helped raise me to be a good person. I had aunts and uncles and cousins. I had football coaches. And
with what standard?
Yes, I went to church as a kid.
Oh.
But I had librarians and teachers who all suggested and imprinted them on me to be a good person.
Where did they get the standard? Oh, well, I went to church. It sounds like they were getting their standard from Christian ethics. So you're just trying to use Christian ethics, deny the whole God thing, because, you know, you're too smart for that. I mean, oh, gosh, we're all just a bunch of hypocrites.
Right? You go to football.
But go on.
The coach teach you about sportsmanship and supporting each other and backing each other up and all those sorts of things. You know, those are things that are taught when you play sports.
Yeah.
They imprint on you, you know.
But why are they good? Like, why ought you have good sportsmanship, like, conduct? I mean, is it consequentialism? Like, you don't want to get a flag thrown on the play. So I mean, you got to be a good sport. Is it consequentialism? Are you fearing the consequences? Oh, those mean punishments.
My grandfather, you protect the family, you take care of the family. Don't ever let anybody be disrespectful to the family or injure the family.
I agree, but why is it good?
You see, just growing up. Now you may say, "Oh, I see you went to church, so you learned from the Bible, Bible-based. You was in America." What about the people I know from India who got the same morality? They didn't learn it from their Bible. The people I know
they don't have the same morality. They have a different ethical system. They believe in karma. We don't believe in karma. See, you keep on straw manning the position, and, you know, just saying, well, we say these things are good, but we have a different reason for why we say these things are good. See, that's what you guys never talk about. You guys never get into, like, what system you're using or the whole parameter around it. You're just like, you know, we all consider these things to be good, so they must be good.
Dubai and Abu Dhabi, they got the same morality, and they're Muslims.
No, they don't.
You see, people got these same morality.
Abu Dhabi? No. I could be wrong, but I believe they require Islam women over there to wear a burqa. Do we have that? Huh?
These all over the world. See what I'm saying? Now, there are some variations, but for the most part, there are some cardinal rules that everybody thinks is good and bad. Murder, stealing, bad. We know those things, but y'all can't think.
So because a majority of the people agree with it, that's what makes it good or bad. Is that what you're getting at? If you get enough people to agree with it, that must be true. You don't think that might be the fallacious argument ad populum? Just because the majority agrees with it, that's not what makes it good. But I'm sure you'll eventually get to your standard.
Y'all think it's only because of your Bible. But, many of the people that I grew up with, they didn't come to me from a biblical sense of morality. So you sound stupid when you say stuff like that. And it shows just how bad you are. Now,
just
all my people who like to talk about karma. Karma is just as imaginary as Jesus and his fake ass, as this person who created that said. And they said, very good. Where's the karma for the slave master? Where's the karma for the slave master? So unless you believe in reincarnation and the person's going to come back as something worse, then maybe you are. If you think that way, then that would suggest that everybody who was a slave in the Americas were slaves because they reincarnated into that life in order to pay a karmic debt from a previous life. You see how you really want to go there?
Yeah, I completely agree with him on that one. Karma is incoherent because you can never actually say that something bad is happening to a person. No, if you believe in karma, then you hold to the reincarnation theory, and that they were bad people in a previous life, and now they're getting what's coming to them. So, I mean, you can't say that horrible things happening to people would actually be bad. They're just getting what they deserve, which is messed up when you take that down various logical conclusions. I'm just saying. See, Coach Renz, we don't disagree on everything. Karma's stupid. I agree. But still, I have yet to hear a standard from you.
Do you really want to go there? Let's go there. Prior to transatlantic slave trade, and you've been a slave, your ancestors being enslaved. Prior to that, what were they like?
I'm pretty sure he's just talking about karma the rest of this.
You may have lived multiple lives. I don't know. I'm still deserve some bullshit. Then you will exist somewhere where you deserve some bullshit. So it is not karma that determines your existence. It is you who determines your existence.
Okay, you lost me.
Where is it? Look at all the politicians. All of the politicians. All of them. I don't use finite terms that often. But in order...
Well, that wouldn't be a finite term. That would be a universal. If you're talking about all of them, that would be like the universal, a politician. Finite means like, I guess finite could work there. I don't know. Who am I to judge on language? I'm a retard, so I'll allow it. That's my little critique, But go ahead. I probably agree with you on this.
Most politicians, so let me not say that. Most politicians, in order to get stuff done, have to do some bullshit, crooked shit. Where's the karmic debt?
Probably.
Where is it? Where?
Well, they want to see it until their next life.
LBJ and Reagan and Carter and Clinton and Obama and Bush. When are they gonna pay their karmic debt? Because I guarantee they all did something effed up. When they gonna pay their karmic debt?
Well, obviously it's gonna be in their next life. They're gonna be reincarnated as slugs on dung. They're just gonna perpetually just be traveling over mounds of animal feces. That's gonna be their karma. Just that reincarnation stuff.
And I don't know exactly what they did that was messed up, but I'm guaranteed that they all did something. Look, I worked in certain sectors of the government,
Probably,
and you got to give a little to get a lot.
There's a good probability of that.
So you got to give to get. That's just the way it works, and y'all know that. So take your rose-colored lenses off for whatever politician you like. So they all did a little dirt in order to get shit done. Where's the karmic debt? Where's the karmic debt? And to become a billionaire, you're gonna have to do a little dirt. You could become a millionaire without doing any dirt, but a billionaire, you most likely gonna have to do a little dirt. Where's Bill Gates' karmic debt? Where's it at? I ain't seen it.
Good question.
Karma ain't came back and got him.
I want to see it too.
Nope. Slave masters beat the shit out of slaves and then live their life off.
YouTube, don't look at me like that. YouTube, don't look at. I'm not saying I want anything bad to happen to him. Like that. No, that don't look at me like that. YouTube. I'm just saying, you know. He does some interesting stuff that maybe maybe just a little something. I mean, can we at least say, like, you know, like explosive diarrhea while stuck in traffic? I mean, I know he probably has flying cars and stuff like that. You know, he probably just travels around on planes, so he doesn't ever have to deal with traffic. But, you know, I mean, something. But so yeah, he said all that. We'll go ahead and keep moving on. But my comment to him was this: I'm a good person because I say I'm a good person. That is essentially what you are saying. Where do you get a standard to call something good or bad? Just because you don't like something happening to you doesn't make something bad. People don't like going to the dentist. Is the dentist a bad person? Is the dentist evil? Is the majority of people not preferring something what makes something bad? Now, in his response video, he completely misses that. Like all these were qualifiers to my actual question there. Where do you get a standard to call something good or bad? That's the main point of my argument. But we'll go ahead and we'll listen to this next video. Listen to this next video of his reply to this. Which, hey, cool that he replied. I didn't think he would, but he did. So, cool. But yeah, you completely missed the point of the argument, bud. But let's go ahead and go for it.
This response is laughable.
Laughable.
It is laughable because the example that you decided to choose was most people don't like going to the dentist. So does that make the dentist bad? Because if most people don't like something, then that means that it must be bad.
It's a legitimate question. If you base your standard of what's good or bad off, say, like a harm principle, do no harm to people. Most people that have been to the dentist feel a bit of harm. You know, it doesn't feel pleasant. So, you know, it is a legitimate question. But what's laughable is that you're about to completely, the argument's going to go right over your head.
You are trying to take something that is subjective morality, and well, first of all, going to the dentist has absolutely zero to do with morality.
It would if what the dentist is doing is in fact immoral. If he's doing something bad to people, you know, he's making them feel pain. So if you hold a harm principle standard, then yes, it is a question of morality. Don't know what to tell you, bud. Don't know what to tell you. But continue.
Whether or not a person likes it, that's like saying that if people don't like a Yugo, that means that Yugos are bad. They're a terrible car, but that means that they're bad. But what does that have to do with morality? It has absolutely nothing to do.
That's not analogous. I wasn't talking about an inanimate object. I was talking about the profession of being a dentist. Did you not read it? I mean, did you just skim through it? I mean, I tried to make it as concise as I can because I hate it when people like write an entire chapter for a book inside of a YouTube comment. It's really annoying, but like to mince out these concepts and what we're talking about. I mean, it requires a little bit of reading, just a little bit. But that's why, hey, Coach Renz, have a talk with me. You know, let's find a time when we could talk. Like I don't hate you. I'll be nice. Like for the show, yeah, I do stuff like this.
Now let's try to get an answer from someone who's not a complete retard. Anyone? Come on, don't be shy.
But I mean, it's all just poking fun. I would legitimately like to have an honest, good faith discussion about this. Because, you know, a lot of people just assert these things as, oh, well, they're bad. Like, these are bad choices. These are good choices. I'm a good person. What's the standard that you're using? Because, you know, you're criticizing Christianity, while at the same time it appears that you're using Christian ethics to criticize Christian ethics.
With morality. So your argument...
I can't really hear him. I'm going to try to turn up his volume a little bit. Tick it up, up. Plus, I also want to make sure you guys can hear him. Let's try that.
Already fails at not being able to adequately express what you are trying to get at by using an example. They're a terrible car, but that means that they're bad. But what does that have to do with morality? It has absolutely nothing to do with morality. So your argument already fails at not being able to adequately express what you are trying to get at.
Which, sure, I'll grant it. Maybe it wasn't worded properly, and I didn't just, you know, get to the point of what I was trying to say. But I figured when you would see, where do you get a standard to call something good or bad? I mean, I figured that would, like, you know, be obvious that that's what I'm asking about. But, you know, my bad.
By using an example that is so far-flung that it doesn't even matter or match. So what you were trying to talk about was the difference between subjective morality and objective morality.
No. We can't even get to that part. We can't even get to whether your standard is objective or subjective because we haven't even figured out what your standard is. Like, what standard are you using? That's what I'm asking here. Like, come on, bud, just tell me. Just tell me what your standard is. So, like, we got to start there. We can't go anywhere else. We can't talk about the objectivity of it, the subjectivity of it. We can't discuss none of that. Is it relativistic? I don't know. You haven't said it. All you do is just assert things.
Now, in my video, I said that there are things that I wouldn't want done to myself, and therefore I do not do them, and that is how I make those choices as to whether or not I'm going to be a good person or not. What am I going to do concerning other people? But
that standard comes from Christianity. You know, do unto others as you would have them do to you. Love your neighbors as yourself. Although people have perverted that. But Go ahead.
As I said in that video, I choose to be a good person because I choose to be a good person. Now, a book does not make me a good person. A Bible, if I needed a book to...
A Bible doesn't make a Christian a good person. It's about the standard.
Make me a good person, and that just demonstrates that I must be some type of psychopath, that I need some kind of book in order to make myself a good person.
Well, you need some sort of standard.
Rules. Now, the conversation really should have been about subjective morality and objective morality.
No, we can't get to that. We have to determine what your standard is first. You gotta let us know. Well, maybe not everybody, but you gotta at least let me know if we're gonna proceed with this conversation. You know, it starts there. Like, how do you get a standard? And then we would determine what your standard is, and then we begin discussing whether it is relativistic or is it objective. But you know, it comes back to this meme that I made. You need religion to be a good person? I'm a good person because I choose to be. And you know what's funny? I made this meme before I even saw this guy's video, so you know, it's not directed at him, but a lot of y'all make this argument. So, absent religion, you have no objective standard of what a good person is or why they should even be a good person. So, now, that's where it would come into, you know, you could have a standard. You know, there's pragmatism, there's utilitarianism, and there's consequentialism. Those are three that I can name off the top of my head. But, I mean, you would have to then... So if you tell me something like that, then we could talk about the objectivity of it. But I don't think we're going to get to that.
You see, there are some things that are subjective and some things that are objective. Very few are objective, while the overwhelming majority are subjective. And some of the things that you would say are subjective are actually objective moralities. Okay. For instance, is slavery good or bad? To some people, they will use the argument that because people in the 1600s thought that slavery, for the majority of people, thought slavery was a acceptable thing, a moral thing, then that makes slavery subjective. But in truth, slavery is an objective morality that says that it is evil, because no.
Yeah, where do you get that from? Why wouldn't cultural relativism be true at that point? You know, if one culture says that it's okay, like, who are you to tell them that they're wrong? Let's see what he says.
No man should have the right to take away the agency of another man. Nobody should be able.
So agency. It's all about a person's agency. Where do we find this agency in people? Can you point to it? Is agency on me right now? Get it off. I don't want it. Like so, sure. If you're gonna base your standard around people's agency, whatever the hell that is, you know, I don't know where you get people have agency from. Sounds like you made it up. Sounds a little bit like this. I just feel like it. I don't like it when you do that. Man. Stupid. Indeed it is. But, yeah, I don't... So, sure, you could say that your standard is based off of people's agency, whatever that is. But why ought we respect somebody's agency?
To do that, no one should be anyone's slave. It does not matter what the consensus of the society is. That is an objective morality that slavery is wrong. Violating a person sexually is objectively wrong. Not because you don't want that done to yourself, but because, once again, you're taking away the agency of another person to have what done to them as they choose, not what someone else is choosing for them. The treatment...
Now, yes, I agree. SA, sexual assault, I don't know. I'm probably not a big enough channel for like people to mass flag me on stuff like this. Maybe. I don't know. Really hard to have these conversations when you can't say the words. But, okay, let's just say, yeah, I agree. That's bad. Like people shouldn't be doing that to people. But let's let me propose a hypothetical. If the continuation of humanity required it, unless we did this act, there would be no more humans. Would it be okay then? I don't know how you would handle that one, but it's a tricky question. I don't know. I mean, because I don't know. I can't tell if you're a consequentialist. I don't know. Like with the consequences of no longer having humanity outweigh the unpleasant experience for someone else. I don't know. I mean, I would say that it's still immoral. I don't know. But, given a standard, which you're just talking about agency, so, I mean, if agency is your top priority, then I guess you would say that humanity would have to go bye-bye. But, I mean, if you don't have humanity, then you don't have the agency. So what comes first, the humanity or the agency? See, that this is where all these things get a little confusing. Not gonna lie.
Of women as property, which have been a subjective morality that most of our recorded history, women have been subject to, that is an objective morality that is wrong, because women deserve to have their agency as well. So you should not be able to take a woman's agency. Now,
see, you're just asserting things.
Other things, whether we're talking about rules of law, speeding, is speeding an objective or subjective morality? If you don't follow it, do follow it.
No, that wouldn't be morality.
Is some
that would just be
business
law-based.
Is a monopoly objective or subjective? It's subjective. But when it comes to taking someone's agency for them to have the determination of their own life, that is when it becomes an objective morality. Stealing from someone is an objective morality. So,
well, what if my family is starving and I steal from you to feed my family? So because you said in the other video that providing for your family is a good thing to do. That's what we should do. But what if that's my only means? Like, would my family's needs outweigh the need for you to have your agency?
When I speak on morality, I only speak about objective morality, because I don't speak on things that could one day be viewed as a good or bad thing. Today is good, 100 years from now it's bad. Today is bad, 100 years from now it is good. So in the instance of gender.
Oh boy. So all you're doing is prattling about objective and subjective morality, but you have yet to demonstrate, all you said is, a person's agency. They deserve their agency. Why? Like, why? Huh? Why ought I respect someone's agency? You just said that they had this thing. I don't know. I don't know where it is. Is it in here somewhere? I don't know where I find my agency at. I don't know where you would get this thing called agency. Sounds like you made it up. Just saying. But yeah, let's hear your opinion on gender.
Why would God make people gay in the first place?
In the past, gender decisions were seen as an objective morality, that anyone who likes someone of the same gender, bad. Anyone who chooses...
Well, gender doesn't exist. I mean, even if you take the leftist rhetoric around the whole gender theory thing, they even admit it's a social construct. Gender is a social construct. It's just a concept. So it means gender's not real. So what you have sex. You have biological sex. And what you're actually referring to, what you're referring to is homosexuality. Attraction to the same sex. Not gender, because you guys can't even tell me what the hell gender is. So I reject it. It ain't real.
This and says that they are not what they were born to be, bad. In today's world, we don't look...
They weren't born what they were meant to be? Who determines what they were meant to be? Huh?
At it. The majority of people don't look at it that way. If a person wants to...
No offense, but it sounds like some fucking commie gobbledygook.
Go ahead, Coach Renz.
Love another person? That's on them. Who cares? If a person wants to identify as binary or whatever, that's for them. In the past, that would have been bad. Today, it's not bad to most people. It's subjective, based on the person's sense of morality, based on, most of the time, some damn book. But
I assume what you mean there by sense of morality, their standard, which you have yet to actually tell us what it is. Just this whole person's agency. Just let people love who they want to. It's not harming you.
If you take away a person's agency to be whoever they choose to be, then that is bad morality.
Can I choose to be a tiger? I really want to be a tiger. I want to go grrr. I think I do a really good grrr. Can I be a tiger? I got this agency thing. Why can't I do it? Why not? Transspeciation? Transspeciation? I'm a trans species. Why can't that work? Huh? Again, just
gosh, my brain just literally pooped.
Yeah.
And that's what your Bible does. It takes away a person's agency to choose how they want to live their life, who they want to love, who they want to sleep with, whether someone else is their property or not, who can be violated.
Well, it doesn't take that away from them. It just implies that you shouldn't do that, because it gives us a standard and can give us an explanation on why we ought not do certain things. But I know you probably just look at it from the legalistic sense. These are just rules that we're supposed to follow. If not, God get mad at people. You probably just take that basic understanding. Just let people love who they want to love. Careful with that. I can get you into some dangerous hypotheticals with that.
And who cannot be violated. Those are objective moralities. Those are things that it doesn't
just assert the
matter
thing is
what
true.
this overarching general consensus is. It's wrong. Racism, wrong. Gender bias, wrong. Stealing, wrong. Murder, wrong. All those things are simply wrong.
Wrong.
There's no
Hey,
other way
we
to
synced
slice
up.
it. Sure, I believe in self-defense, but when you just purposely taking...
Well, I think self-defense is taken away from my agency. Like, why can't I just go stay at the neighbor's house whenever I want to? Just, walk in, kick my shoes off, sit on their couch, start watching TV. Why can't I do that? I have this thing called agency. I have agency, bro. I got agency. Don't take away my agency.
Away someone's agency of having life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Yeah, that's my pursuit of happiness. That's my pursuit of happiness. To go sit on my neighbor's couch whenever I want, even if they don't really know me, just kick my shoes off and start watching TV on their couch. I got me some agency, bruh. I got my agency, bruh. Can't take it away from me.
So the next time you want to argue that point, you might want to go and think about it a little bit more and not have a reactive comment. But what do you...
I asked you a couple questions, and that's reactive. I didn't even call you a name. I was nice in my comment. I could have called you a name. I didn't do that. I just asked you a question. But I'm reactive? Okay. That right there, that's what's laughable, bud.
Guys think. Always remember, you have to free yourself to be yourself because your greatness is non-negotiable. Good journey, good vibrations.
Thank you. Thank you for the meaningless platitudes at the end. It meant a lot to us. Free yourself to be yourself. Whatever that means. But this is my comment that I left after this video. We'll see if he gets back to me on it. So I said, I see you missed the point of my comment, so I will restate it in a way that might be clearer to you. You could say that taking someone's agency is wrong, but why is it wrong, and why ought people not do that? Why is it bad? Don't just assert that X is objectively wrong. Provide a standard that would demonstrate that X is objectively wrong. Why ought I respect someone's agency? I'm looking for the objective standard that you would use in place of Christian ethics, and what makes it objective absent you just asserting it is objective. So that's what I'm asking. That's what I'm asking. Will I get a response to it? I don't know. I would hope that you tag me in it. I'll tag you in the clip that I do of this. Like I'll clip this out. It might. I think it went for like 20, maybe 30 minutes. I don't know. I gave you some time. Like I focused on like what you were saying. Hopefully I didn't straw man you. But yeah, if you want to have a conversation, hit me up on Twitter. My DMs are open. Just do that. But yeah, I got one more video, but we're gonna do that in a second. All right, let's get back to it. Yeah, I'm back. Forgive me. Make sure my mic set up right. Check. Yep, I see the sound bar doing the thing, so that means we're good. But yeah, just to reiterate what I was saying with the whole Coach Renz thing, the whole thing about the morality thing, yeah, you completely sidetracked, or not even sidetracked. You just completely left out. It just went right over your head. I mean, you saw it there in the comment. I mean, it was there in the comment. You know it was there. What's your standard? You could say like, "Oh yeah, this thing's bad. Taking somebody's agency is bad. It's wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong." But why? Like, where do you get that standard from? That's all I'm trying to ask. Just, let me know. But this next guy, I've had this video saved for a while. I've been wanting to discuss it. This guy calls himself Rabyd Atheist. Now, brace yourselves. Like he doesn't use that name lightly. He's pretty rabid. I'm just warning you guys. Just warning you guys. But I mean his video that I have here kind of falls in line with like what I've been discussing so far. So I wanted to talk about it because I've had this video saved for a while, and we're gonna go ahead and take a look at it. But remember, he's rabid.
Hello and welcome to the Rabyd Atheist. I'm Ed Rabyd, a former pastor turned atheist, now compassionate anti-theist. Welcome to my channel. Feel free to like or dislike the video as you see fit, so feel free to hit.
That was a little bit of a letdown, bud. Like if you're gonna call yourself the Rabyd Atheist, I mean you gotta act a little bit more, like show like at least a little bit of emotion. Like you're just like, I'm the Rabyd Atheist, and we're gonna talk about this stuff. I'm gonna speak in basically a monotone voice, and we're just gonna talk about it, guys. Like I'm surprised that he doesn't get a whole lot of this. I mean, now granted, that's what I get. So I mean, I can't talk a whole lot of crap about it, but I mean, come on. So I am gonna speed this up a little bit because this is like a half an hour video, and if I don't speed it up, we're gonna be here forever. Let's see if that'll work.
Hello and welcome to the Rabyd Atheist. I'm Ed Rabyd, a former pastor turned atheist, now compassionate anti-theist.
See that actually helps you out a bit. You should just do this to all your videos. It makes you sound more rabid. But yeah, so he's an ex-pastor, so he knows what he's talking about. Let's continue.
Welcome to my channel. Feel free to like or dislike the video as you see fit, so feel free to hit.
Also, thank you for reminding me, bud. But hit that like button. All those like buttons. I need to see all of them raining down like hellfire. And be sure to hit that subscribe and that notification bell. That way you can be notified, because I don't post videos on a regular basis. I have a pretty busy schedule. And I never know when I'm going to get to them. So just go ahead and click that notification bell, so you will be notified when I post a video. See, isn't that's just boring. That's just boring. I should get so many more likes than this guy, just because I have a little bit more pizzazz.
What the hell is wrong with you?
I'm retarded. What's wrong with you?
That could be an answer to why I don't get likes.
Those buttons. Feel free to comment below, and I would appreciate it if you would subscribe to the channel and hit your notification bell for more content as it is released. You're also free to share my videos as much as you like, because the purpose of this channel is education in regards to atheist and deconversion issues. And
I'm going to point this out right now. My channel is not for education. I'm not here to educate anybody. I'm nobody to educate anybody. I'm just making fun of videos, trying to make people laugh. You know, a little. Can we get a little? You know, some smiley faces. You know. I mean, yeah, maybe I'm a little mean. Maybe I'm a little mean.
This is bullying.
Just makes common sense.
Come on, man. What are we talking about?
Why would God make people gay in the first place?
That's disgusting.
Whoa, that one was uncalled for. You shouldn't say that about the rainbow people. It's not very nice. Not very nice. But let's hear what the Rabyd Atheist has to say.
Any issues related to those issues. A hearty shout out to the Rabyd Nation. Join the nation by hitting that subscribe button, and if you want to support the channel in a more tangible.
See, if I start getting subscribers, I can call you guys the Strange Nation. It's a fist. My green screen is messing it up, but whatever.
Way, hit the join button, and your membership options will be presented to you.
I'll stop prattling.
Today, I'm just kind of freewheeling it like I always do on Saturdays. I want to talk about the various comments, but I also have some sort of, some sort of thing to say, my soapbox, I guess. And today, I want to talk about.
Well, I would hope you have something to say.
I dislike, annoys me the most. Okay, that I just every time I hear it, it just it's kind of like. What is the one that to me is the worst? And it's the worst on not just an intellectual level, but also a personal level. And it's come up several times in the comments. I'll be addressing the comments later, some of the comments later, but it's the moral argument.
I didn't leave him a comment, so don't look at me for the comments. I just saw this one video, saved it, and that's it. I didn't say nothing to this guy. Until right now. Now I'm commenting on it. But yeah, he's going to get into the moral argument. So let's go ahead and go.
Okay, it's a moral argument for the existence of God and all the other things that attach around that. Because the moral argument for the existence of God is the argument that annoys me the most. It is the argument that I dislike the most. And it's because there's a smug, shall I say, almost egotistical, there's a hubris behind that argument. Okay, that somehow if you don't believe in God, you're not going to be moral. And that's really, to me, the emotional foundation.
It's not the moral argument for God. See? They always do this. I'm not straw manning the position. They always do this. They think because we say, since you're an atheist, since you don't believe in God, you don't have a system that can judge morality. That doesn't automatically make you immoral. Just means you can't tell me what's moral or immoral. So why should I trust you on anything about morality? You don't have a system. That's all it is. We're not saying you're a bad person. I don't even know you, bud. I don't even know you. You could be an okay guy. I don't know.
Foundation of that argument. I've seen several people react to various, moral arguments this last week on various atheist channels, and I'll probably, deal with some of those reactions on Reaction Mondays, which is what it's become. And my main issue with these theist arguments usually is, they're intellectually unsound or whatever, but the moral argument is more than that. There's a smug thing with theists that if I believe in a God, then therefore I somehow more moral. And they'll deny, well, no, I'm just making...
No, that's not what we're saying. That's not what we're saying. The argument isn't, I believe in God, therefore I'm a good person, and you're a bad person because you don't believe in God. The argument is, the belief in God, a personal God like the Christian God, gives us a standard for what we call good or bad. So that's the only way that we can call somebody good or bad. Not saying you're a bad person. I like I said, I don't know you.
This argument, this case for the existence of God based on objective morality. And I said, yes, but the idea that, you need God or some judge watching you in order to be moral, I don't think is very moral. Okay? Now, there's a lot.
It's the same thing Coach Renz was saying. You know, if you need somebody wagging their finger at you, you know, you might not be that good of a person. No, that's not what we're saying. I mean, sure, granted, there could be some people out there. I'm not saying that everybody that believes in God is, you know, that eloquent of a speaker. You know, they're not as good at speaking as I obviously am. I'm definitely the best speaker. Duh. But that's not what the argument is. So stop straw manning the position and don't be dumb. See, I'm not going to say you're a bad person. But so far, you're showing me that you're a dumb person. Might be a little bit of this.
This is bullying.
Maybe. I'll accept that. Maybe. But continue. It's kind of funny listening to you like this.
A lot of reasons why I dislike this argument. But the argument itself, for instance, I dislike because, you know, it assumes a lot. Okay, the two big assumptions, of course, are objective morality exists, which I don't think has been demonstrably proven yet. I mean, people go, well, you know, what about the objective moral that you shouldn't kill people? Well, is that really an objective moral? Because the immediate thing I will sit there and talk about, well, is some killing actually wrong? You know, if somebody tries to, you know...
Well, again, it's like, from a Christian ethical system, it's not necessarily killing that is immoral, it's murder. Unjustified killing. That's immoral. But, you know, I mean, if you do hold the position that you're not sure if there is objective morality, then, you know, I mean, how could it be? I mean, there might be cases where, like, you know, you might have to, like, just murder somebody. Who knows? If you don't have an objective standard, who knows?
If a woman's about to be raped and she pulls out a gun and kills her attacker, is that justified homicide? I would say yes. Yeah. Okay, if somebody else is about to be killed, you know, is that justified homicide? Yes. How about war? You know, we even within the...
See, this is what like I don't know if he's a leftist. Kind of sounds a bit like a leftist. I don't know. That's just my assumption. I could be wrong. He could be a right-wing fascist like I am. Hopefully, we need more of you guys. But this is a big conflation that a lot of them make between killing and murdered. And murder. Killing and murder. There's a distinction between the two. Killing can be the unjustified or justified killing of another person. Murder, however, is always the unjustified killing of another person. Big distinction there. So, murder can be in the category of killing, but killing isn't always in the category of murder. You get what I'm saying. Hopefully. I don't know. Maybe.
Theist camp and thou shalt not kill or killing another human being. We have all this nuance and subjectivity. Well, it depends on what the killing is done for, and it depends on who's being killed, and it's like all of a sudden it becomes a very subjective discussion. And so even thou shalt not kill is not really that objective when you look at even the Bible when it talks.
He used to be a pastor. You should know this, bud. If you were a pastor, you should know that it's thou shalt not murder, not thou shalt not kill. Probably got it from the NIV version. Probably. Horrible version. But go ahead.
Talks about it. So it's like, I'm not trying to, that part of it hasn't been proven, so you have a big question mark by that premise. And every time we say we have this connection between God and the subjective moral, which we haven't proven exists, we end up with this.
Well, it's a necessary prerequisite for morality. There has to be a transcendental being that determines these things, because we can't do it ourselves. Anytime you depend on the masses to provide a standard for morality, it's always relativistic because it could change the next day. So you need something that is transcendental. You know? Because, you know, morality, if we just look at it from a materialist, physicalist, naturalist, however you want to call yourselves, I don't care. Everything in the world is matter. Where do you find morality? Where does morality exist empirically? Can you demonstrate it to? Can you touch it? Can you smell it? Huh? Can you hear morality? Can you? I don't think so. So at most, you could say that it's a concept. At most, you could say it's a concept. But do concepts exist? That's a question for you.
Okay, well, what kind of God then connects to objective morality? Because your first premise is, if objective morality does not exist, God does not exist. Or you can say it, if God exists, objective morality exists. Objective morality exists, so therefore God exists. Either way. Okay, well, but you haven't made the connection of why objective morality requires a deity. And I've seen several atheist YouTubers.
I just did that. I just did that. A being that transcends humanity is required for objective morality.
This apologia, I've done it myself, a few others, where I say, no, you can have subjective moral desires, like, just taking the old, Vulcan Spock one, live long and prosper. Well, that's a subjective statement. What does it mean to live long? And particularly, what does it mean to prosper? Prosperity means different things to different people. But out of that, you can still create objective morals like, want to live a long time, let's not kill anybody unless there's a really good reason.
Well, that wouldn't be objective. Like, for it to be objective, it would have to be never changing. You'd have to ground it in something that is forever unchanging. God doesn't change.
We want to live a long time. Let's work towards, things, that don't allow people to be, killed for whatever reasons. Let's find safety things that people are required to do so they don't endanger people's lives unnecessarily, so on and so forth. Prosperity, what does that mean to people? Well, giving people liberty and freedom. Well, what does that mean? Well, that's a subjective thing too. And the more you look into morality, how subjective it is, it's almost like subjectivity and morality. And this is the way I'm leaning right now is it possible to have objective morals given the nature of morality? And that's, just the way society works. And I'm still asking, but what annoys me with this theist argument is the assumption that behind it all, that without God, there is no morals. And because I believe in God, then I have a superior leg up on those that don't when it comes to morality. And then questioning, the morals of the,
No, if you call having a standard to what we call good or bad, that is objective, a leg up, then yeah, we have a leg up. Show me an objective standard without God. I'll wait. Because even if you use consequentialism, why ought we strive not to have bad consequences? Like, just because you say, hey, this consequence is going to be bad, like, it doesn't tell me why ought. Like, where's the ought? Like, I mean, who was it? David Hume, I believe it was. David Hume, the is-ought distinction. Look it up. You can't get an ought from an is. Just because there is bad consequences for certain things doesn't automatically mean that we ought not go to those consequences. Maybe something like that. I don't know. But go ahead.
Atheist that eventually follows, well, how you can't be moral. Everything's relative. Everything's subjective. And I'm like, yeah, it's subjective for you too. I mean, I'm sorry. I've looked at through the centuries how the Bible has been interpreted when it comes to his morality. And yeah.
If only we had a never changing standard like the Orthodox Church. I'm just saying. But let's run with this argument. You know, we're relativistic. You're relativistic. Who's more valid in their claims for morality? If we're all just making it up, Who's more valid? Oh, we're equally valid? Oh, so I guess we just have to have enough force behind us. We just have to have enough people agreeing with us, because that's how it works. Okay. So you can't say that there's anything immoral with banning gay marriage, with banning abortion. There's nothing you can say. You know, our morality systems are equal. They're both equally valid. You got nothing.
It's been subject to subjectivity hell. I think God is even subjective about his morality because, you know, let's be honest, David gets away with several commandments that he should have been killed for by the people, according to God's law, but God lets him get away with it. He punishes him a little bit, but, you know, some other people are dead because of his actions. But you know what? That's okay because he's a man after God.
Again, God should have had a meeting with Rabyd Atheist to determine what the proper punishment for David was. Oh, gosh. He really messed up there. I guess it's just subjective. It's not just your bad hermeneutics and your bad interpretation of Scripture. Sola Scriptura, Bible alone. See, this is why I hold the position that not everybody should have a Bible. Because you have these people taking a Bible and they just go off by themselves and they come up with these funny ideas. So I think it's logically sound that, you know, there should be some regulation to that. Just saying.
God's own heart. And God gets really subjective in the story too. And so when you sit there and tell me as an atheist I can't have any basis for morality, it gets annoying. And there's a lot of other reasons.
Wait, is he actually having a problem that God showed mercy to somebody? Is that what his problem is? Wow. Interesting.
Since it gets ignoring. Okay? Number one, there are tons of moral systems that have nothing to do with God. I mean, if you look at philosophy and moral philosophy, okay, moral philosophy is its own study of philosophical systems. And there are tons of lists. I mean, there's probably got at least...
Sure. Let's just say there's an infinite amount of systems that you can pick from. What you have to then do, when you pick one, is give us the reason why we ought to follow that system. Why society ought follow that standard. See, so sure, you can come up with all the systems you want, all the moral systems you want. I'll just give you a list that's infinite, an infinite list. You can just choose whatever you want. You have to tell us why we ought to follow it. Well, it gives me good feelings. It gives me good feelings. I don't care. What if I don't care? What if I don't care about your feelings? Should I care about your feelings? Why ought I care about your feelings? I came up with a system.
To be 100 of different moral systems, okay, that exist that don't have anything to do with God.
Just say
evolutionary
an infinite
morality, you know, where people look at the origins of morality from an evolutionary standpoint and show how it is a trait of any species that is social and relies on social action to survive.
My warm pond scum.
Okay, there's moral rules within those societies, regardless of what species it is, and humans have that in spades. Okay, we
Animals have moral systems? How did you determine that an animal has a moral system? I would be fascinated if you could tell me how you determine that an animal knows whether or not it's doing something immoral or not. I would really... Sorry, I started watching the the background behind me and I got distracted. But I would really love to see that. Demonstrate for me how you know that an animal knows whether or not it's being moral or immoral. That would be fascinating. I would nominate you for some sort of an award. I mean, I know I'm a nobody, but I would rally around people. I would rally people around this, that you deserve an award, a medal, a trophy, something. You deserve your name on something if you could show us how animals know whether or not they're being moral or immoral. Sounds like you're just imposing your own moral system upon animals and saying, oh, well, they're doing what I would do.
We have a lot of it. Because our survival is so interdependent with each other, moral systems are inevitable. And it has nothing to do with God. Okay? And, it annoys me because I hear it all the time. It's when your true test of your morality is when nobody's watching. But then the theist comes up with a system where somebody's always watching. Okay? I live a moral life because it's good for myself and the people around me. Okay? And it actually leads to my long-term survival, my long-term prosperity, is working with other people. As an autistic person and somebody who's introverted, I have some problems there. And it's probably why I'm not as successful as I should be, because social stuff is difficult for me.
You should be more successful. You should. Well, you know what? I should be too. I should be more success. How do we measure success? Do you have a standard for what is and isn't successful? Huh? Can we come up with systems for that? Are there various systems for that? Who knows?
But the idea that we don't know where morality comes from, and the idea that we don't have a moral system simply because we don't believe in a cosmic big brother that is constantly watching us, because we, as Christopher Hitchens says, we don't live in a celestial North Korea. Okay, somehow that means that we're not going to be more moral than anybody else. That just is annoying. Okay, and it's untrue.
It's annoying.
I mean, I'm sorry. There are tons of things you can read about morality without God. You can see that it's not all that bad. And what annoys me about Christians who continue to make this argument,
I just feel like it. I don't like it when you do that. Man. Stupid. That clip will never get old. Continue.
Islamic people, or theists in general, who continue to make this argument, it's like you point out to them, go read the other side. Okay, because there's other people. Here, I'll give you one. I got one for you. One I'm reading right now. Moral Origins by Christopher Mohn. Okay? The Evolution of Virtue, Altruism, and Shame. He talks about...
Should we read that book? Ought we? Ought we read that book? Is that something that every person should do? And it would be immoral if we didn't do it.
Where those ideas come from an...
Wait. Are you saying you get your morality from a book?
Wow. Gosh, my brain just literally pooped.
It literally did.
Evolutionary point of view, no God required. I'm in the process of reading this book, and it's very enlightening, and I'm trying to find my way through this objective subjective thing, and I'm leading heavy subjective.
Are you on a journey?
Practically what we do when it comes
to
morals.
Are you on a
feminist
journey?
Like we're constantly, and that has a benefit of being adaptable to change. Whereas an objective morality doesn't always adapt to change really well. Case in point, the biblical view on slavery, or the biblical view on women being inferior to men, or the biblical view, because that's in there. You can deny it all you want, but I know the Bible too well. Sorry.
I know the Bible. Former pastor. You gotta remember that he was a former pastor. He knows his Bible. Stupid. That's my only reply to it. I'm not gonna battle his interpretation of my sola scriptura. Like it says it in there. It clear. The Bible interprets itself.
Various biblical ideas, like if this group doesn't believe in my God, I can go kill them. Okay, on and on the list goes. Where you have to hate
Yeah,
your
why would that
father,
be bad?
and all those other people, according to Jesus. Okay, more than you have to devote yourself to an individual. An abject, might makes right morality is all through the pages of the Bible. Love is demonstrated.
No. Might makes right does not come from the Bible, you idiot. Where did you get that from? You know what? I was trying to be nice, but you deserve it. Here, let me make sure you have a proper size. There. A little bit bigger. You got a big old head there. That big brain of yours. So you're gonna wear that the rest of the day.
Obedience to Jesus. That is a might makes right morality. That's a, whatever you want to call it. And to sit there and say that my moral system is bad because I don't believe in God, but somehow your moral system is good because you do believe in God.
No, it's inferior.
Is kind of like, no, I don't think so. It might be flipped a little bit. Okay, I think mine's better in a lot of ways.
Oh.
I don't have reasons to hate
I'm glad you think
LGBTQ people. I don't have reasons to hate different people from different religions. I don't have that anymore. Okay, and so
who says that we hate them?
I can respect a lot more human beings simply.
Talk about a straw man. Who says that we hate them? Hey, I have some criticisms for what you're doing. You hate me. Make it make sense.
Because of their humanity. And I don't have
you
to
deserve
deal with
that,
and it
Dubscap.
gets just stupid annoying when people continue to bring this up. They point to the moral argument. They point to the supposed consequences of atheist morality. And it's like, no. And this leads into one of my early comments. And I want to deal with this comment because I think the commenter makes a valid point. Jenna, about 6 days ago when I did my last video on Saturday, she goes, she says, I would add the whole atheist lives in a meaningless thing as a function of their image as atheists, as hedonistic, living for ourselves alone and in the moment. And that is so true. The real problem with a lot of you theist conceptions of atheist morality is that we all follow we automatically, our atheism leads to a certain moral code, and that is because of your ignorance.
No. I mean, maybe some people say that, but the critique that we have is that it leads to an infinite amount of moral codes because it's all relativistic. Y'all just make it up. You make it up. So that's the critique. Like, I mean, were you like a pastor for like 2 seconds? Like, do you not know your own critiques? Like, I don't get it. Were you like a pastor at the age of 12? And then at the age of 13, you were like, oh, you know what? I'm bored with this. I don't like it no more. I'm going to go do something else.
Of all the other different ways that we can live morally. I am a Stoic, okay? I live a moral philosophy that's very much...
Ought we all be Stoics? Maybe that's why he's so blasé and, like, I guess, but I mean, you still sound like you're crying a bit. Still sound like there's a little emotion in there. I'd work on your stoicism.
Based on Stoicism right now. And why? Because it works. Okay, and Stoicism predates Christianity. Okay, it does. Okay, so I can already point to philosophical systems of the ancient Greeks that had...
There you also don't understand the Christian worldview because nothing predates Christianity. Because Christianity is simply the guidelines that God has given to us, and God has always existed, so Christianity has always existed. Just saying.
Moral systems that didn't have God in them or didn't necessitate the existence of a God. Okay, it just doesn't. I learned Stoicism. The guy who wrote the book, How to Be a Stoic, he is an atheist. Okay, it's like you don't need it. Okay, you don't need it. And it goes back to a lot of the arguments against the existence of God. One of my favorites is Occam's razor, getting rid of unnecessary elements. You can live.
That guy who wrote the book on Stoicism. What happened? What happened to his empire? What did his empire eventually convert to?
good moral life, and you don't need any deity system to make it so. You don't need a big brother watching you. In fact, if you're a good moral
If I say I'm a good person, I'm a good person. I'll just assert it.
person and you don't believe anybody's watching you, you're actually better in your morality because you're doing it for your own sake and for the sake of the people around you. And that demonstrates to me a morality based on love of your fellow humans rather than fear of an omnipotent God that doesn't exist. Okay? We create the boogeyman in order to scare other people into better behavior. And to me, my moral system isn't based
you're
on
so
fear.
profound.
It's based on a genuine care and concern for my fellow human beings and for myself. And that to me is far better. I guess I'll end that little discussion right there because I think it's ended. And let's deal with some of the comments. One of the comments that I got this week that has suspiciously disappeared that I want to deal with right away. Somebody, the problem with this guy is that whenever you post evidence, he's talking about me, okay? Whenever you post evidence about, proof of Christian, he just deletes it and, he just doesn't address your comments and so on and so forth. Well, I went back to find that comment to address it and I can't seem to find it. And it's like the guy got deleted, okay, or something. I'm looking for it, and I want to deal with this because a lot of people, I've been accused of this a couple of times, where they accuse me of, you're not addressing the comments, you're not looking at the evidence or whatever that I presented. I got that on, near-death experiences. I got that on other things, and I'm like, I have looked at that stuff, okay, in the past when I was debating these questions for myself. I want to make it very abundantly clear. I do not delete comments unless they're personal attacks or a commenter gets a reputation for being a troll. Okay, he's just trolling people. I am not interested. It's one thing to troll with a little bit of fun attached to it. It's quite another to be a jerk about it. Okay, and it's quite another to be personally insulting. People who come on here, atheists are evil and all that stuff. Yeah, they're going to get deleted. Those comments are going to get deleted, and they keep getting blocked on our own. Ahead. So that's kind of where we're at. I did have a couple comments on the new mic that there's still a little distortion because my expectations are this is what I'm looking for, and when I look at what I'm looking for, there's a little element of I want a long-term relationship, and there's this romantic idea of perfection of what that relationship would be. And you want a relationship like that to be as drama-free as possible. For me, it's kind of important that a person understands working through issues and not being dramatic about them. Drama queens need not apply. But at the same time, 2 or 3 people are gathered together, you have drama, of some sort. And so keeping that as something that isn't detrimental to the relationship is a big thing. But it's like your comment about the House of Mirrors thing got me thinking, and maybe I'll talk more about this next week, but this notion of expectations and how much of those expectations are still, mental holdovers to even now, even though I'm an atheist, of my expectations out of relationship. And I think that's something worth exploring. I think it's something that I need to look at for myself. So that was a pretty personally beneficial comment. It got me thinking, just a very interesting week, for thinking about the moral question. But now I'm looking at it from a relationship question, and the deconstruction, reconstruction aspect of my deconversion right now is, because I want to go forward and find that relationship in my life. And I have to consider, given my possible poly nature, relationships, with a plural S. And it becomes a real question of what are my expectations in something like that? Can I have those high romantic
That's disgusting.
criteria anymore? And I think sometimes we
I had a feeling that's where he was going, but
That's disgusting.
yeah, it's gross. It's gross. I don't like it. That whole poly business. No. But that's all I got. I think it was a pretty good episode. Again, if Coach Renz, if you hear this episode, or maybe you might just listen to the clip, watch the full clip. Watch the full clip. That's all I ask. But everybody, go to Strange with a 3 instead of an E. days.substack.com. Check out my Substack. I write a lot of good articles, and since we're kind of on the topic of human rights, I did just get done writing an article a while ago about human rights and how I don't think they exist, and how I lay out a few arguments within that article on why they don't exist. Excuse me. But also, follow me if you are on Twitter at r_wing_Hoosier. You can follow me there on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. I don't care. Call it what you want. Like, don't tell me what to do.
This is bullying.
If I want to identify that social media platform as Twitter still, I think I can still do that. Or is that dead naming? I don't know. But yeah, that's all I got. I'm gonna go ahead and get off of here. You all have a wonderful day, night, weekend. I'm not sure when I'm gonna get this uploaded, so just whenever you watch it. I hope you enjoy it. Bye-bye.